Welcome back to the Nintendo Cove Podcast. I am your host, Sean, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about the hot button topic that's been going around for the last 2 or 3 months on YouTube, and that is DK Oldies. I will give you my opinion on the company, and I also have a special guest to talk about it as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Nintendo Cove Podcast.
This kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing, feeling. When you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come, the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Welcome back to the show. I wanted to apologize because I was actually going to do 2 episodes in January, but in December, after it's been 2.5 years, I got the bug and I was down and out for probably about 3 weeks. And after the 3 weeks when I recovered and I was finally negative, I don't know if you can mention the the co. I don't know if you can mention that on these channels, but better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, I was down for about 3 weeks, and then after I tested negative, it took about 2 weeks to finally get back to 100%. So I did not do a Christmas episode. I was planning to do one, and I had a guest lined up, Worrywart Gamer, and it just didn't work out. So I am back. I'm back to 100%. And one of the things that I was planning to do in December was talk about a hot topic. And everybody is jumping on the bandwagon right now. Everybody on YouTube. I originally saw the first video. It was Jacob R. And he is the guy on YouTube. He orders stuff from Goodwill and other places online. He gets stuff off of eBay. He gets, different modded systems, and he, tests them out and shows them off. And he was ordering stuff from DK Oldies. And I believe one of the episodes that I saw back in December was when he ordered a Microsoft Xbox. It was the original Xbox. And it was at a ridiculous price. And this thing was not even, complete in box. It did not even have a OEM controller. It was just, a basic system. And it was, he got it for a ridiculous price. I think it was like $300 or something like that. And then he continued doing that. And he would open up the system, check out the insides to see if they actually were refurbished. And they weren't. And this trend started to take over the internet, where all of these big YouTubers, I believe Rich from Review Tech USA, is that his name of his channel? I don't watch him that much. Anyway, he ordered a Nintendo, and it came pretty much broken. And a lot of other YouTubers have been doing this, and a couple of friends have asked me my thoughts on DK Oldies. So here are my thoughts on DK Oldies. And I must stress that I do not work for any competition. I don't have any stores. I don't sell retro stuff. I occasionally sell stuff on eBay. So I just want to put that out there. But I am not a business. I am not an eBay business. I don't have a video game business in general. And also, Do not harass these people. This is just talking about their pricing, talking about how they do business with customers. And at the end of this, I'm going to talk about alternatives. This is, you don't have to go to this website and buy. It's your option. They're not forcing you to buy this stuff. So on DK Oldies website, they have in their facts section, they have a section that says low price guarantee. And it says, this is our commitment to provide you with the best value at the best price. We value your business and strive to keep our prices low and save you money. The DK Oldies price guarantee policy allows you to request a price adjustment within 7 days of the purchase date if you find a lower price on dkoldies.com for an identical item. The price adjustment will be in the form of store credit to your DK account. So basically, they say that they have the lowest prices. And if you find a lower price on their website, not the competition, they will adjust the pricing, which is kind of crazy. Now, let's talk about some of the pricing. Now, I am looking at what is called an N64 Mario pack. And the pricing here is $239.99. And it's got the original $279.99 crossed out. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is when you go on here, there's a little section that says controller upgrade. And if you have none, they will send you 2 controllers that are third party. And I don't know about you, but from my experience, third party controllers are junk. They're basically just, pieces of crap. Nintendo 64 controller ripoffs from China that will break days, weeks after you play it. If you want to substitute 2 original controllers, that's going to be an additional $60. So you basically are paying for a Nintendo 64 used with 2 original controllers and Super Mario 64 for $300. Now, $300, you're thinking, okay, that's pretty high. But the average person that doesn't know about game prices, retro prices, they're going to pay that. Now, if you go on eBay, right now there are, and let me remind you that this is just a system. This is not complete in box. This is just a system. Now, if you go on eBay right now, there are tons of Nintendo 64 systems complete in box with additional controllers for far less. I'm looking at a listing now. Let's see, original Nintendo 64 controller complete in box with gift, and they are asking $249.99. And if you look, the system is in really good condition. Here's another one, Nintendo 64 complete in box, tested, working great. Comes with the box, comes with all the instructions, $249. Here's another one, Nintendo 64 Atomic Purple, complete in box. That comes with 2 controllers, an additional game, $280. Here are, okay, we'll go to this one too. There's a N64 Pokemon Blue, $299. There are tons of systems on here that are just at lower prices. You get to look at the picture to see what these look like, and you get a better price. So their pricing is ridiculous. And the fact that the only way they're going to do a price adjustment is on their own website is also ridiculous. So we all know, we've all talked about this. We've all heard it. The pricing is insane. And the problem is people are going to keep paying these prices, and they're going to keep offering these prices. And that includes these YouTube channels. Now, I know it's a catch-22. They are showing audience that they're ordering these systems for a ridiculous price. It comes in the mail. It's either broke, doesn't work. They open it up. It's dirty. And they're trying to expose this company. But at the same time, they're buying their product. And I understand that a lot of these people can't return their stuff. Now, I've seen a few videos where they have no right to Uh, so they have a sticker on the bottom of these systems when they call them quote unquote refurbished. And if you pull off this sticker, it voids a warranty. But the problem is, the only warranty that should be on these systems is from the company itself, from Nintendo or Sony. And once that warranty is up, you can't really just say, "Hey, I'm going to put another warranty on this." And I understand that a lot of these YouTube guys are actually being able to get refunds on these systems that they're ordering, and they're garbage. So that's a good thing. So hopefully, this makes this company bring down their pricing, because if they keep putting these pricings up like this, it's just it's bad for the market. Now, I'm not a reseller, but if I want to buy, my kids are grown, but if I want to buy my kid a Nintendo 64 or a Super Nintendo or original Nintendo to experience retro gaming, this is the last place I'm going to go. But the average mother and father does not know that there's alternatives. And that kind of sucks. So there's alternatives. But the one thing that I want to talk about is their refurbishing policies. And this is where I have a problem. The pricing I can overlook because I don't have to pay. But the refurbishing policies are pretty ridiculous. Now, the part that really bothers me is the fact that DK Oldies pushes that they refurbish all of their systems. Now, the definition of refurbished to me may be a little different from what theirs is. But to me, if you buy a refurbished system, and GameStop is pretty much guilty of this as well, refurbished means that you clean the system. If you get it in a trade, you clean it. You wipe it down. You make sure there's no dust or dirt or, boogers all over the controllers or snot all over the system. You clean it up. You take care of it. You open it up. You dust it. You make sure the board's clean. You make sure there's no bugs that have been in there for the past 10 years. You make sure that that thing is spotless inside and out. And you also make sure that the system is working. Now, my understanding is, to DK Oldies, if they get a trade-in, their definition of refurbished is just turning the system over, putting a sticker on it, and putting it on a shelf. And that, to me, is ridiculous. That in itself is the reason why you should not buy from DK Oldies. The pricing, okay. If you got the money and you want to be stupid to go on there and order game systems for $300 or $400, the same systems you can get half price on eBay, more power to you. Some people, they don't know. But others, they know. They should go on this site and say, I'm not paying $300 for a Nintendo. But the thing is, you should not be, saying that you refurbish your systems when it's clear that you don't. And there's been people on YouTube that have ordered systems. They're dirty as hell. They send them back. They get a replacement, and the replacement is dirty as hell. They aren't doing their job. And that is my main issue with DK Oldies. Don't get on there and say that you refurbish systems when it's clear you don't. There's been multiple systems, PlayStation 2s, Nintendo 64s, Nintendos, original Xbox systems. These YouTubers have taken them apart and they have not been touched. But they sure as hell put a sticker on the bottom saying that it has been touched. So that is my main gripe with DK Oldies. Do not promote that you refurbish when it's clearly obvious that you don't. And it's ridiculous. If you make all this money, find somebody, hire somebody that clearly just does refurbishing. Don't just bullshit people online and say that you have these beautifully refurbished systems that are clean, when clearly when people get them in their hands, they're full of muck, they're full of dirt, and some of them don't work. So this is my main problem with this company. The refurbishing lies, and they need to do something about it. But my thought is, just don't buy from them. There are so many alternatives out there. There's so many companies. There's so many mom and pop places out there who sell cheaper. Go to a thrift store. Go to a local mom and pop video game store in your neighborhood. Support those guys. Don't support these chumps, because they're trying to make a lot of money off of nostalgia, and a lot of people are falling for it. They seem to have, a enough money to promote on TikTok and YouTube because I see ads all the time. I go on Google, I see ads all the time. So they're clearly putting a lot of money into their marketing. But me personally, I would stay clear of them. Don't harass them, don't bother them, just ignore them, and hopefully they go away. Now, I wanted a second opinion on this whole DK Oldies nonsense. So I reached out to my favorite cousin, Ronnie. And yes, he's actually my cousin. He's actually the one that introduced me to the Nintendo back in the day. He's a couple years younger than me. But I wanted his opinion because we always talk video games and we always talk retro stuff. So here's his thoughts.
Hey, what's going on there, guys? This is your favorite cousin. This is Cousin Ronnie. I wanted to hop on here today and talk to you guys about what pretty much everybody's been talking about lately. DK Oldies. Now, if you know who DK Oldies is, they're a company that pretty much sells video games, primarily retro, new stuff. I mean, if you search for anything retro gaming online, it's automatically going to pull up their company as like one of the first ones there. And yeah, they're pretty much a big scam. I mean, it's all over social media, people trying to cancel them. So I wanted to kind of give my 2 cents on who DK Oldies is and what kind of product they got there. So I'm on their website currently right now, just looking around. I want to point out a couple interesting systems that they have here that they're listing for sale on their website. The first one, quote unquote, their most popular system is their Nintendo 64 with 2 controllers. Now they claim that it's refurbished, but if you watch any videos online of anybody buying their products, just a bunch of bullcrap. There's nothing refurbished about these systems. Hell, they're not even properly cleaned. And they have a Nintendo 64 here for $184.99 with 2 third-party controllers. Now, who's going to pay $184 for a Nintendo 64 in 2023 with 2 third-party controllers? I feel like they're marketing like that mom and dad or that grandparent and wants to buy their kid something that they had when they were growing up. And, oh, look, there it is. It's online. Hey, this is the first company that pops up. So you know what? That seems like a pretty good price. I mean, it was $200 back in the day. I mean, it's 2023, so it has to be worth a lot more than $184. So it must be a deal. How wrong they could be, man. Let me tell you. They're definitely taking advantage of that type of market. And I just find it interesting that they have like a PlayStation 2, again, with a third-party controller for $209. If you just stop and really did some research, go to eBay, Facebook Marketplace, go out thrifting, go to garage sales, I can guarantee you, just from my own experience, that you can find systems a lot cheaper than what they're asking for. I mean, just to give you an example, my son and I, we go thrifting a lot and we go to garage sales and came across a second generation Sega Genesis with the OG controller. I mean, something like that, DK Oldies would, sell to you for like $80 or $90. $20 I paid for that. I mean, I find Wii systems, PS3s, Xbox 360s. I find all the retro gaming systems all the time. Anywhere between $20 to $30. I'm not paying more than $30 top for any older system. So I'm basically saying that you can go out there, you can find it. You just have to go out and know what you're looking for and where to look for it. So I think they're just a plague on the retro gaming society. I mean, everybody on TikTok and social media, Instagram, I mean, they completely hate this company. They just make a mockery of their ridiculous prices. But I just feel like everybody else, you need to just go out and find it yourself, man. I mean, if you really want the games, you're a true gamer, you know what to look for. I guess those people that continue to get ripped off are just the mom and pops and the grandparents, man. But it is what it is. But I want to thank my cousin Sean for allowing me to come on here and just kind of give my 2 cents and my little rant on this situation. You'll probably hear from me from time to time because I do, like I said, go out thrifting a lot. So I do find some crazy deals from time to time. So I might come on here and just talk about the things that I find. and other games and, things like that. So appreciate you, Sean, for me. Come on, brother. This is Cousin Ronnie saying peace out.
All right, favorite Cousin Ronnie. He's actually going to be up here in the Florida Panhandle in a couple of weeks. We're going to be going to Pensacon. So looking forward to seeing you, brother. And I'm glad to get your opinion on that. But I think we've covered everything. If you really want to find out more stuff, just go on YouTube and you can actually see some of the nonsense that, DK Oldies is sending to these YouTubers. It's just ridiculous. And I really don't like getting on here and shitting on a company. But to be honest, this company deserves it because their business practices are ridiculous. They should not be charging these crazy amounts to the customers. And, us as gamers, we know better, but you need to think about these moms and these dads who are trying to, relive the good old days of their nostalgia, and they want to, bring this retro goodness to their kids. And the first thing they find when they go online to search for this stuff is DK Oldies because they sink a ridiculous amount of money into Google Ads. So I want to thank everybody and give appreciation for everybody that takes the time to listen to this podcast. It is greatly appreciated. There will be more topics in the future. And we're not going to just talk about Nintendo. I plan on talking about Sega, Atari. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you all have a good February, and we will see you next time. Take care.
The Nintendo Cove Podcast is brought to you in part by DK Oldies. If you can't find it, we ain't got it. It don't exist. And if you order today, we'll give you a free keychain with every purchase. And a bottle of lube so you can stick the cartridge up your fucking ass. DK Oldies. We're here to rip you off so no one else can.